Hello and welcome to the history of Star Wars. Today's episode will be covering Yavin 4. And here we go. Yavin 4 was one of 3 habitable moons orbiting the gas giant Yavin. It was mainly covered in jungle and rainforest, and despite being remote and unheard of, it would play an important role in galactic events. In 5000 BBY, the Sith Lord Naga Shadow fled to Yavin 4 on his flagship, along with an army of mass assassins, following the defeat of his Sith forces during the Great Hyperspace War by the Galactic Republic. He then conducted Sith academic experiments on his mass assassin warriors, causing them to mutate from red-skinned humanoids to fearsome, savage, hunchbacked predators. Despite these abuses, his mass assassin slaves treated him like a god, building huge temples filled with treasure to honor their Sith Lord. Shadow also encased himself in a Sith sarcophagus, where he remained in a coma-like trance for centuries, waiting for someone to call upon his power to continue the history of the Sith. He remained in suspended animation until 4400 BBY, when a fallen Jedi named Freedon Nadd arrived on Yavin 4. By then, the descendants of the mass assassins had de-evolved into a primitive hunter-warrior society. At first, the mass assassin attacked him, though his use of the Force amazed them, who recalled the golden age of the Sith. They then showed him where the Dark Lord rested, waiting for the other Dark Jedi. Nadd then awoken Naga Shadow, who taught him the ways of the Sith until, as was Sith nature, Nadd killed him, becoming the Dark Lord himself. In 3996 BBY, Exar Kun, along with his Kraith and Mandalorian allies, waged war on the Republic and the Jedi. The Jedi eventually prevailed and gathered their forces for an assault on Yavin 4. However, as the orbiting Jedi launched a wall of light side power, which to bombard the jungle moon, Kun gathered his Massassi followers into the Great Temple and drained their life energy in order to free his spirit from his body and invest it into the surrounding structures, where he would remain for millennia. The Jedi attack obliterated much of the jungles and scorched the temple complex to the extent that nothing could survive. After the attack, the Jedi established an underground city on the moon and used it to modify the climate of the moon into a jungle state and help restore the planet's ecosystem and to ensure that Kun is never awakened. The Jedi eventually left Yavin, erasing the information about the moon, hoping to end its evil legacy. During the Galactic Civil War between the Republic and the resurrected Sith Empire, the former Jedi Master and former Sith Lord Revan began plotting against both sides. His followers, called the Order of Revan, or the Revanites, took over Yavin 4. Revan planned to resurrect the Sith Emperor, who still remained in an incorporeal state after his defeat by the hero of Tython, so that he could kill the Emperor once and for all. SIS agent Theron Shan and Sith Lord Lana Binko brokered a truce between the Republic and the Empire so that they could work together to defeat Revan. Republic and Imperial forces led by Grand Master Satish Shan and Dark Counselor Darth Mar respectively invaded the moon. Revan was ultimately defeated, but the Sith Emperor regained some of his strength regardless and left the moon. In 1 BBY, a rebel scout scouted the moon as a potential base for the rebellion. The moon was home to the Rebel Alliance's main military base, Massassi Station, built from the Great Temple of the Massassis, prior to and during the Battle of Yavin. The rebels established this base after the abandonment of their previous base on the planet Dantooine. The Galactic Empire sought to use its new space station superweapon, the Death Star, to destroy the small jungle moon and crush the rebellion, following the destruction of Alderaan. The Empire sent a legion of stormtroopers to confirm the rebels' presence on the moon. They discovered the rebels and established a monitoring outpost at the Massassi Arena. Following the skirmish, a small force of X-Wing and Y-Wing fighters were sent to destroy the Death Star, but most were killed in the attack. With the timely assistance of his friend Han Solo, Luke Skywalker was able to fire 2 proton torpedoes into a small thermal exhaust port, thus destroying the station and saving Yavin 4. A great ceremony was held following the Death Star's destruction, where Princess Leia bestowed medals of honor upon Luke Skywalker and Han Solo. However, Chewbacca didn't get a medal. This became known as the Battle of Yavin, and its date is used galaxy-wide for marking events. Events before the Battle of Yavin are marked BBY, and events that occur after are marked ABY. A few days after the battle, Solo and Chewbacca stole ancient Sith treasures from the temples and sold them to finance replacements for the devastating Rebel losses against the Death Star. The Rebels remained on the moon for 6 months afterwards until they finally escaped the Imperial blockade. Hey, thank you for watching the History of Star Wars. Special thanks to Wikipedia and its contributors for all the information you heard today. Very special thanks to my Patreon and to Royalty Free Tube for this fantastic background. They're free to use, you know. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment. These things really help the channel grow, and I enjoy talking to you. Thank you and have a great day. Bye-bye!